Hey guys, my name is Austin Pottis. I'm the director of sales with the Perna team. We're a team out of Southeast Michigan, and in 2022, so I'm taping this kind of mid 2023. In 2022, we did 960 transactions for 260 million ish, somewhere in there. And so I lead a team of about 125 real estate agents. Previous to this, I actually was a Keller Williams team leader, and so I ran a giant Keller Williams office. As a matter of fact, it's certainly one of the 50 largest offices in the country. I don't know. At one point, I think we might have been even top 35. 360 licenses. We did, I don't know, 2,500 transactions and had maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 350-ish, 360-ish agents. And so I'm proud of that. And I've been around a lot of businesses. I've coached businesses not only on the team side. I've coached people to go from a 0 to 2 million business. I've coached people to be brand new in the business and get up and running and have big businesses. Uh, I've coached people to go from a $5 to a $10 million business. I've coached people to go from a $10 to a $15 million business. I've coached people to go from a 15 to a 20, a 20 to a 30, a 40 to a 50, and then most recently I was a giant piece of the Perna team going from about a 90 to a $100 million team up to a 260. And so I've been in real estate or real estate related fields now for, God, this is my 20th year. I know, I look good, don't I? Anyway, for being an old guy. Anyway, and so I, you clicked on this video because you want to know, hey, why EXP? And so we had made the transition as a team from Keller Williams to EXP, and it's really interesting. And so you start to think about why EXP, and there's a lot of reasons. The most important one to me is access. Okay, I'll talk about some of the other stuff in a second, like some of the stuff that you might hear about. But it comes down to access. And what I found in life is that the people that you surround yourself really actually matter. As a matter of fact, one of our core values on the team is we have a policy called no jerks. And here's why. It only takes one drop of oil to poison 50 gallons of water. And so like if you've ever been part of a toxic environment or relationship or work environment, you know a toxicity will pull you down over the course of time. And if you surround yourself with the right kind of people and the right kind of thinkers, a really good environment will propel you up, right? And so what's really cool is being part of such a huge team. We're a giant, I don't know what we are. We're top 12 in EXP maybe at this point, maybe even top 10 at this point. But we get to be in a lot of really cool rooms. I call them the PJ rooms, the private jet rooms. And we get access to a lot of really cool people. And so what's interesting is when you operate out of like your traditional brick and mortar office, like a Remax office or a Keller Williams or a Sotheby's or a Coldwell Banker or Century 21, or it doesn't matter what the office is, you typically are part of more of like a brick or mortar type location. And what that means is that the people that you have access to are directly related to the people that are inside of that building. And maybe inside of the building, like a couple of them down, like you start to coordinate, like, you know, maybe if you're in one city, you start to work with some of the agents in another city. But for the most part, it's very localized. Some brands do a good job of like making it on a regional level. But like the reality is that you're beholden to whoever can help you in that office. And as a matter of fact, anybody that's been part of a traditional brokerage has lived this life. Like you go into the office on a Tuesday, you might sit through a team meeting, and then like you get done, and maybe you have a deal that you're working, and you kind of just like walk around the office and talk to the veterans. You know what I mean? And like, look, the truth is that if they're not very good at helping you, then it's just not a very good fit. And so at EXP, we have access to a national network. And so what's cool about this is that there's a cloud-based training system called EXP World where they're running classes literally 24 hours a day. And top people in the company are incentivized to lead those classes because we have something called Icon Agent. And what that means is any other brand, when you have a closing that happens, you pay into that office, you pay a split, you pay a percentage of your sale, and that's just what you pay the cost of doing business. But at EXP, because we have what's called icon status, you pay into that, but you can also get it all back as stock options. So it's an 80-20 split up to $16,000, but you can get all of it back as in stock options. And one of the things that you have to do in order to do it is you have to teach classes, you have to mentor people, you have to do things to give back, you have to go to national conferences where you learn more. And so it's a company that incentivizes you and prioritizes you to learn more and to be able to give back. And so then the other thing that ends up happening is we have a thing called revenue share. And here's what's really cool about revenue share. It's the only thing that exists like it in the industry. And so what it means is that when someone joins EXP and they name me as a sponsor, okay, every time that they have a closing, they pay EXP a certain amount of money. What EXP does is they turn around and pay a certain amount of that revenue back directly to the people that sponsored that person. And so revenue share goes down 7 levels and blah, 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 blah. It's like there's another video on revenue share. But what it does more importantly is it incentivizes me to want to help you. And by the way, that means that I get to help you for free because EXP is paying me to help you. Because the more business that you do, the more money I make on revenue share, the more money that EXP makes, the more this whole thing grows. And so we're completely in symbiosis and learn, and win-win together. And so that comes down to the access. And so when you join EXP, what ends up happening is that within the company, these kind of different silos start to develop where people are incentivized by different people in the silos to join each other and to help each other out because we're incentivized 7 levels deep to help people grow. And we're part of, I think, the most powerful cohort of real estate agents in the world, bar none. We're part of what's called the Honey Badger Nation and the Fast Forward movement. And the top teams in California, the top teams in Arizona, the top teams in almost every state all over the country are part of our network. And as a matter of fact, what that means is that right on your EXP app, you can pull up the phone numbers for all those different people, and you can call and you can reach out, and we're literally incentivized to help you do more business through revenue share. And the other thing is that for free, the people within these put on free classes. We put on free classes every single week, every single day during the week. And so we have a link with a passcode. You can invite other people to it. And so we've created this mechanism for you to be able to learn the business, not from the person that just happens to be in the same Century 21 office that you're in, but from the top real estate minds in the world all over the country that happen to be part of our Fast Forward and Honey Badger movement. And it's a really, 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 really big deal. And so I think the access to help you grow the business. Imagine giving Harvard-level education and Harvard-level networking for free. EXP pays us, incentivizes that. Here's the other thing. Because we're all part of this big network, we hold events. And in those events, it's a great opportunity for you to bring in other people to those events and help influence them to be a part of the network within EXP. And when you do that, they name you as a sponsor, and you get paid on every closing that they have. And so when you start looking at stock awards, icon status, top agents being incentivized all over the country to teach classes, you start looking at revenue share and us being incentivized to help each other out, the access really, really matters. We're the only company that gives stock awards like that. We're the only company that does revenue share like that. And we're the only company where you would get this kind of access to top people anytime you want. And I don't know, I just think that's a really big deal. As a matter of fact, the people on my team laugh. I'm not wearing one today, but probably 2-3 times a week, I wear a shirt that says, "I want you to win too." And the reason I wear that shirt is like, look, I grew up in a very blue collar town in the Midwest. Came from a single mom. She was an emergency room nurse. It's the kind of town where like you graduated high school and like went and worked at the parts factory for the automotive, right? Like you went and worked at the factory, and through some really great mentors and through some really great luck, I've been able to build an incredible life. I've bought. When I'm taping this video, it's April. I've already bought 4 properties this year. Two of them are vacation rentals. Another one are buy and hold. Another one fix and flip. And so I live an incredible life, and I've been able to build incredible wealth. And what powers me as a human is I feel absolutely beholden. I feel an obligation. I feel like it's my duty to the world to be able to give back to people and help them grow big lives. And it really means a lot to me. And I've had a lot of really incredible mentors that have helped propel me to really, really cool things I would have never imagined in my life. And I've never been aligned with a company in my 20-year career that where I felt that same spirit. We're aligned together. We want to see each other win. We come from a place of abundance where we know that if I help you succeed, we both succeed together. I'm incentivized by the company to do so. And as a result, that access really matters. And I will give, and the reason that you join EXP and the reason that you join EXP under me, to be perfectly honest with you, is I will do anything I can to help you lead an amazing life. And we are running one of the largest real estate organizations in the world. And I'll give you any of it. I'll show you anything that we're doing. I'll help connect you with anybody. I spend a lot of my days being quarterback, like, oh, you need help with this? Let me connect you with them that do that. And so we've built this giant network all over the country where we can connect you with the top minds and talent for anything that you possibly can think of. And so that's why I'm a part of EXP. And that's why I'm a part of the Fast Forward movement and the Honey Badger. So anyway, thanks for taking the time.